Hi, Stephen the BMW DIY guy. I believe a big part of maintaining your car, especially if you have leather interior, is cleaning the seats, right? Think of the amount of time that you spend in your car. If you eat or drink in your car, you spill coffee, get in and out when the weather's bad. Think of all the stuff that builds up on your seats. Now, my E53 X5 is a perfect example of this. I could have used my F32 or the E83, but the E53, this X5 is a great example because it has that light dove gray interior. Now, my X5 is a 2001, which is pretty amazing considering that makes it, as of this point, a 17-year-old car. But I get compliments all the time on how good it looks. Part of it is just simple maintenance things exterior and interior to keep it looking in great shape. So, interior care. So I am going to be using the Obsessed Leather Conditioner and Cleaner. This is a really great product, and I wanted to make sure to use my E53 because you can see the differences. The E53 also has the whole family packed in, take it hiking, go places, soccer practice, all that sort of things, all the things you track in and get all over your seats. So it's a great place to start to take a look at how clean and how nice your interior can look once you're done. Darker interior is a little bit harder to tell. It's just as important. So if you've got the black interior like I do in my F32, make sure to clean that as well. But we're going to do it in this car. So let's get started. We're going to start with the Obsessed Leather Cleaner first. I'll show you how you apply it. We'll start on the driver's side. Okay, so they look a little extra pale right now because I've had to take my shop light and I'm shining it through the sunroof, right? So you can see a little bit better, because if not, it's a little dark and it's hard to tell. They'd actually look worse than they are. But it's this dove gray leather interior, right? So the first thing you want to do is vacuum everything really thoroughly. Take that opportunity to vacuum the rest of the car, why not? But vacuum all the leather, make sure you don't have any extra debris or anything like that floating around that's in the way. Okay, so then I've got a spray bottle top on the top of the cleaner, and just take it and spray. Now it's going to run a little bit, so don't go too bananas or you're going to waste product, right? So what they recommend is taking a good leather brush, which I've got. So I've got a good leather brush, and just gently agitate the leather. So brush against the leather, right? So not only will this help dig up anything out of the nooks and crannies, out of the stitching, anything like that, but if your seats are especially bad, it will help get off, anything that's spilled. Coffee, if you're in the Seattle area, it's probably coffee. Okay? And make sure to work over it all really thoroughly. Make sure to get the headrest as well. Okay? So we're going to keep working this in. Just like that. Then this is take preferably a white cloth and wipe off any excess. This will wipe off any of the debris or any of the stains that you've taken out. Anything like that. Yeah, already. Can you see this? This is a white cloth. Maybe they say white cloth so you can see what's coming off your seats, right? But as you can see, the seats are already changing color. They're looking lighter. And the garbage that I'm getting off the seat is actually kind of gross. But it's good to get rid of. So this was white before I started. So this is all the sweat and dirt and everything that comes off your clothes. Not only that, but this will help protect your seats. So we're definitely seeing some little bit older cars with leather interior where you can feel it, right? The leather starts to get hard. It's like, once it starts to get hard, it gets dry and it'll crack. And that's bad. This will do a great job of cleaning everything up. And there's a few spots like the headrest I still need to do. But this will do a great job of cleaning all that up. And then the conditioner will help keep the leather soft. So I'm going to finish wiping it down in the clean stage. I'll show you a little bit more. I'll show you across the back. And then we'll walk through the conditioner. Okay, so I'm using my shop light. So it's a little bright. It's washing the color out a little bit. It's a little bit brighter because of the LED shop light I'm using than it is normally. So what I've done is I've sprayed, like I said, I've sprayed the product, started at the top, worked my way down. I've got half the seat. Use your brush. I'll be back to you for a second here. Get the brush in, and you can really dig into those cracks where the stitching is and get the stitching cleaned up as well. The other thing that you're going to want to do is I try not to soak down my seatbelt, so I try to pull it out of the way so I can scrub at this. You try to get all those nooks and crannies. Now the other thing you don't want to forget as well, and it's a little bit off frame, but your armrests. Your armrests are leather, your center console in between the seats are leather. Make sure to get all of that cleaned and scrubbed down really, really well. And the product will foam, essentially, as you can see this as it goes. So give it a good scrubbing. Don't let it dry. And like I said, we've got a rag and we'll wipe it all off. Now the other thing is when you're done, you want to give it 30 minutes. So scrub everything. Get everything that you're going to do with the cleaner, scrub it all down, then wipe it all down. Then give it 30 minutes before we do the conditioner. So all in all, really straightforward, really simple product, but obviously doing a fantastic job. If you look at that rag that I'm using, which looks really, really gross, and I'm gonna keep cleaning here, and I'll show you the next steps. Okay, so I'm gonna focus primarily here in the back seat. I lost most of my light, so this is where I can get the best light. So you wanna put the conditioner on an applicator. I've got a foam applicator in this case. So I've just put it on nicely and then just evenly distribute across all the surfaces that you've cleaned. So the conditioner adds a little bit of shine as it goes, so it's easy to tell where you've been. And so you want to put a nice even coat over everything and then give it time to soak in. Now I hope you can see how much different this looks. It looks so much better than what it did earlier. My seats are back to a really nice dove gray, and this conditioner will add a little bit of shine. We'll continue to keep the leather soft and also help protect it over the next few months. And I try to do this maybe twice a year if I can, all depending on how busy and active I've been and how much I've used the car. But as you can see from the cloth that we used to clean, it definitely needed it. And the difference that this makes is just tremendous. Now, I've definitely had some folks with some older BMWs or even newer ones that are in really warm conditions that don't condition your seats, and the leather will start to dry out. As soon as it starts to dry out, it gets really hard. So as you feel it, as you feel your seats and your armrests and everything else, if the leather feels hard, that's bad. That means that it's starting to dry out, and as soon as it starts to dry out, it's going to crack on you. And as soon as it cracks, you're in trouble, because that's really hard to fix. It's hard to fix well, and it's very expensive. So make sure that you get all of this set in here. The one thing I really like about product like this is that it really is a professional quality product, and it's something that isn't any harder to use than what you'd get down at your local store. It's just better, and it works significantly better. The other thing I like about using this quality of product is you can use the same quality of product that a professional service is going to use. As you can see, it's not hard. You just need to know, where to get it, and it's not down at your local store, a local auto parts store. So you know where to get it, and then just do it. And then just do it every once in a while. And you're gonna save yourself so much money, and then sometimes it's gonna save you time as well. Because if you don't have to drive to a shop, wait for hours, wait for somebody to do this work for you, that sort of thing. So all in all, you can see this really isn't hard. Okay, so I'm gonna finish out the rest of the back seat, all of the surfaces. Make sure to get your armrests, your center armrest, all of those things to make sure that they're set up really nicely and protected really well. But I hope you can see the differences here. And I'm using an LED light, like I mentioned before, so it's bleaching things out a little bit, but the difference is tremendous. And so even if you have dark interior, look at all the garbage I got off on that white towel. That's what you've got in your interior as well. Especially if you've got a convertible, you get road grime. So I'm going to finish this up, and then I'll show you everything when I'm done. Okay, so all done. Everything's all wiped down. I'm trying to give just a view here, if I can, under kind of just the lighting inside the car. How much better, how much cleaner all of the interior looks. So make sure, like I said, make sure to get your center armrest, get the rest of your consoles, get your headrest. All looks really good. Still a little extra shiny right now because the product is still wet, but all in all, you can see it looks really, really good. So you want to give it at least a half an hour to soak in, but really you want to give it as much time as it needs to soak in. If you get to the point where it's all soaked in and you still have a little bit left over, like in the seams or where the stitching is, just buff it off with cloth. Pretty much you're all done. But all in all, you can see what a great job this does. Okay, so all done with the interior care. So leather care I think is really, really important, and especially as your car, if you have a little bit of an older car, make sure to take care of your leather and it will be great for years to come. I have a 17-year-old car and the leather still looks really, really good just because of maintaining it a couple of times a year. And the Obsess leather products I really like. They go on really, really easily. They seem to work really well. There's not a huge commitment of time to get this done. So this is something that you could do once or twice a year and really not much more than that, and know that you're going to take care of your interior really well. Like I mentioned earlier, I really like the quality of the product. This is a better product than what you get at your average store, and you can use it yourself. So you don't have to spend the extra money to have a professional do it because they're using professional level products. You have access to that and you can do it yourself with really not much extra effort. So I think it's absolutely worth it, and this is a great product, as you can see, and really cleaned up my seats. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I try to answer them any that I can. If you like what you've seen, please click subscribe. It makes a huge difference to me and my channel, and I look forward to seeing you on my next video.